Hello everyone. In this video, I'll be explaining our Java program multi-tier banking system. This program simulates a simple banking system with three types of account: basic, premium, and VIP. It allows user to log in, deposit, withdraw, and check their balance while enforcing rules like PIN verification, daily withdrawal limits, and account locking after failed login attempts. The program is designed with 300 users account. Um, we have here is a basic account number 123 and the PIN is 111 with a daily withdrawal limit of 25,000 pesos. And next is premium account number 456 and the PIN is 222 with a daily limit of 50,000 pesos. Sa VIP account naman is account number 789 and the PIN is 333 with no daily withdrawal limit at all. And then each user can perform up to 3 successful transactions per session, such as deposit, withdraw, or checking their balance. And then after that, the account is automatically magla-log out. And our class main naman is we name it multi-tier banking system. And inside it we have a nested static class called account which represent an individual bank account. And each object is stores details like account number. So ito siya account number. And then next is PIN, balance, and then tier. Ang nakaload naman dun sa tier is basic, premium, or VIP account. So, hindi ko na siya nilagyan. Then, Boolean is lock. Then, daily withdraw is, ano, daily withdrawal amount, and the daily limit. So, we have here is, the constructor initialize is all fields whenever a new account is created. For example, the basic account starts with 10,000 balance and the 25,000 daily limit. And the next is the program should first ask for the account number and then the PIN. Each user has 3 login attempts. If attempts is if all attempts fail, that account becomes locked for the rest of the program run. If all 3 accounts becomes locked, the entire program automatically exits. So once they log in successfully, the user can perform transactions. So we have there a four options. So one is deposit, then two withdraw, and then three is mag-check siya ng balance, tapos four is magla-logout siya. And then the user can perform a maximum 3 successful transaction before automatic siyang magla-logout. And next naman is i-print natin yung output. So which is ito siya. Ipapakita natin yung output. So ito yung mag-enter ako ng account number 123, then enter, tapos yung pin is 111. So ito yung magiging output niya. So that's all for our video presentation. Then thank you.
Now, greetings and welcome to our part of the project where we discuss about the algorithm. So then the step one is the system begins execution, which is the start. So this is where the program will start to run and prepares for user interaction. Then step 2 is initializing the scanner. The system sets up a scanner object that will be used to read input from the user. This allows the program to accept values typed on the keyboard. Then step 3, create a scanner object to read user input. A scanner instance is created, which will handle all input for account number, PIN, and transaction details throughout the program. Then step 4, the user login. The program begins the login process. It uses the while loop, or while true to allow multiple login attempts in case the user enters incorrect credentials. Step 5. Prompt the user to enter their account number. The system displays a message asking the user to type in their account number. The entered account number is then read and stored temporarily in a variable. And step 6. Prompt the user to enter the PIN. Next, the system asks the user to input their personal identification number. The program reads and stores the PIN for validation. And step 7, validate credentials. The system checks whether the entered account number and PIN match any of the registered clients. If the credentials are correct, the corresponding account is retrieved and logged in successfully. Then, if the credentials are incorrect, the system decreases the remaining login attempts by 1, which is only by 3. So they get 3 tries, and if all login attempts are used up, the system proceeds to lock the account. Then step 8, print login process lock. If the user fails to enter valid credentials for after all attempts, the system prints the message login process lock and ends the login loop, preventing further access. Then step 9, transaction session. If the login is successful, the program proceeds to the transaction phase, where the user can perform banking operation. If not, the system terminates the process. Then step 10, transaction loop. The system allows to three like I said before, the systems only allow up to 3 transactions per sessions. It enters another loop while true to let the user perform multiple actions such as deposit, withdrawal, and balance inquiry. Then step 11 is display transaction options. The program presents the user with 3 transactional options, like number 1 is deposit, number 2 is withdraw, and 3 check balance. Deposit is where you can put the money in the account. Withdraw is where you can take out the money in the account, and check balance to check if how many money do you have in your account. Then step 12, prompt for transaction choice. The user is asked to choose a transaction type by entering a number 1 to 3. The program reads the choice and proceeds accordingly. Then step 13, handle deposit. If the user selects deposit, the system begins the deposit process. It asks the user how much money they want to deposit. Then step 14, prompt for deposit amount. The user enters the deposit amount. The system validates whether the amount is a positive number. If it is valid, the amount is added to the client's balance and the new balance is displayed on the screen. And now, this will be the end of our part 1 for the algorithm. I'm going to give it to Mr. Samudio for the part 2. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Kenneth D. Samudio, and I'm the one that will be explaining the step 15 to 28. So, in step 15, we need to validate the amount if is a positive number. So, when the user select deposit and choice equals to 1, the program asks for an amount to deposit. But before that, we need to verify if the input is a number, and second, if the amount is greater than 0. So why do we need to verify that the amount is greater than 0? Because we want to prevent the negative number or 0 deposits that would make no sense in a banking system. So now we are proceeding to step 16, the handle withdrawal. In handle withdrawal, we need to verify if the user chooses the number 2, the program enters the withdrawal process. So that we can now set up the withdrawal process into step 17 and 18. And in step number 18, in step number 17, we need to prompt for the withdrawal amount. And what happens on that is the program asks how much the user want to withdraw. Kumbaga, kung ano yung dapat na withdraw niyang gustuhin. Why? We need before checking if it's a valid and allowed amount. Kumbaga, kailangan muna kasi malaman dyan kung verified, kung yung amount niya is sakto dun sa kanyang pera. In step number 18, we need to validate the amount does not exceed the balance daily limit. Kumbaga, kapag nag-exceed yung balance niya in the daily limit, automatically mag-error yon. So that after entering the withdrawal amount, the system must verify if the amount is positive and if the amount is less than or equal to the user's balance. And lastly, if the amount is less than or equal to daily withdrawal limit. If all checks, it means it will be passed and deduct it and show the new balance. And if any check fails, it will automatically show an error, so that we can prevent overdrawing and keep transaction within the rules. On step 19, display the balance. By displaying the balance, we need to check if the user chooses number 3. The program displays their current account balance to prepares the program to show account information to the next step. And step number 20, we need to print the client's current balance and account tier. So, yeah. Else, print error, invalid choice, and please choose 1, 2, or 3. So we need to check the current balance and the amount tier, for example, the basic, premium, or the VIP. So it will give us the user visibility into their account status. Kumbaga, malalaman natin doon kung ano yung kung saan ba sila kung sang tier ba sila nakakabilang, kung basic ma, premium, or VIP. If the user enters something other than choices other than 1, 2, and 3, it will automatically show an error or invalid choice from that will be keeps the input valid and avoids logic errors or crashes the program. In step 21, we need to ask to continue transaction. On step 21, after completing one transaction, for example, deposit, withdraw, or check, the program or the system will ask if the users want to do another action during the same account. Yeah, by keeping the user in a loop for a multiple action before logging out. In step 22, prompt the user if they want to continue with the same account. If yes, then repeat from step number 10. And if no, then exit the transaction session and while and end with while. So, by explaining the step 2, if the users want to repeat uh, or continue with the same account, it will be automatically repeat from step number 10, which is the will allow the user to up to 3 transaction per session. So, meaning if the user said yes, we will going back to the transaction menu for transaction menu like deposit, withdraw, or check. And if the user said no or N, it will be automatically logged out the account. And this will allow the user to choose when to stop the transaction or not. Then step number 23, ask to log in again. In step number 23, the program will ask the user finishes one session. The system asks if they want to log in again or maybe log in on another account, so that the program lets let the user restart from another account or another user. And step number 24, prompt the user if they want to log in again. Kumaga, tatanungin ng program kung gusto nilang i-relog in yung account na yon. If the user said yes, it will be going back to the login step up. But if the users said no, it will automatically stop the entire program and it ends the full session cleanly or restart for a new user. And step number 25, end program. What happens here is the main logic has ended. Before preparing to terminate the program safely, it will be gratefully closure our banking system. In step number 26, we need to print the user, or we need to say after the program ends or after the transaction, it will be automatically print the quote that will say thank you for using the banking system and goodbye. In this step, the program will show the final goodbye message before terminating the whole program, and it will be a friendly confirmation that the system is closing normally, so that it will closing normally. And then step number 28, we need to close a scanner or close the scanner object. We need to do that because we want to release the input object to prevent resource leak and follows best practices. And lastly, on step number 28, the end. What happens here is to indicates that the logical end of our algorithm is the end of our algorithm. And that's all for the algorithm. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Kel Pasibilio and I'm here to present our pseudocode about banking system. Our class is client class. It is a class that need to represent our banking system for the client. Sa loob ng class na yun is madaming nakakapaloob. The first one is account number, PIN, tire, balance, with daily withdraw, and withdrawal limit. Gusto mo naman gumawa ng panibagong client or magre-register ka ng panibagong information. So, ganun din, automatic siyang magsiset dun sa tire. Magsiset yung initial value niya. Kagaya na nga ng sinabi ko kanina, isiset niya yung, for example, account number, PIN, tire, then balance. Yun yung mga isisave niyang panibago. Then, may ginagamit din na method. So, yung method is set withdrawal limit. Siya yung nagsiset or nag-a-assign ng daily withdrawal limit ng isang client based dun sa tire account niya. Example, kung basic account ang meron yung client, hanggang 25,000 lang yung kaya niyang i-withdraw every day. Kung premium naman siya, is hanggang 50,000 naman yung kaya niyang i-withdraw every day. Then, kung VIP siya, yung client na yon is wala yung limit. Kahit magkano yung withdraw niya every day is walang limit yon kasi nga VIP. So, meron din kami dito another method na tinatawag ng reset daily withdraw. So, yung reset daily withdraw, ito yung nagre-reset ng balance ng client. For example, 25,000 regular regular client ka lang dun sa banking system. So, pag nag-withdraw ka ng 25,000 at kung laman mo is 25,000, automatic na magsisiro yung balance. Kumbaga, yung daily withdraw, reset daily withdrawn, siya yung taga-bantay dun sa balance mo. Siya yung taga-update nung ginagawa mo na transaction. Yun yung purpose ng method na yun. So, kumbaga, yung pseudocode namin is pinapakita niya dito na dun sa coding na to or dito sa pseudocode na ginawa namin is nagpapakita kung paano napapagana ng client yung kanyang banking system. Ano siya kusang nag-a-adjust, yung mga adjustment dun sa pag nag-withdraw siya, yung client, yun yung pinapakita dito sa pseudocode na ginawa namin or mismo dun sa code. Nagiging maayos yung daily withdrawal. Pinapakita din dito yung maayos na pag-withdraw ng client nang walang sablay and smooth lang yung transaction na mangyayari.
Bank transaction system. Static attributes, scanner, client user 1, equal new client. Account 111, basic with 10,000. Client user 2, equal new client. Account 2 to 22, premium 20,000. Client user 3, equal new client. Account 3, 333, BIP 50,000. Here the scanner is used to read user inputs, such as when their account number and PIN. Then I created 3 client objects. User 1 is a basic account with 10,000. User 2 is a premium account with 20,000 and user 3 is a VIP account with 50,000. Method main. This is the main method and it controls how the entire program runs. Set continue program equal true, while continue program client login client equal call login close parenthesis. First, it sets a variable called continue program to true, which means the system will keep running as long as there are user who wants to use it. If login client is not null, set continue session equal true. While continue session, the program when calls the login close parenthesis method where a user must enter their account number and PIN. If the login is successful, the user can now proceed to perform transaction. Call handle transaction login client. Continue session equal call validation to continue same account. Close parenthesis. This inside the session, the method the transaction close parenthesis is called to manage the user's action, such as checking balance, depositing, or withdrawing money. Continue program call equal call validation to continue another account. After each transaction, the system asks if the user wants to continue with the same account, then the program ends by displaying print. Thank you for using banking system. Goodbye. Next, method you log in. Set attempt equal 3, while attempt greater than 0. Prompt user per account number and PIN. If valid credential, then return corresponding user, decrement attempts, print login fail, attempts remaining plus attempts. Print login process lock. Too many failed attempts, return null.
Our pseudo Java code simulates a simple banking system that allows a client to perform transactions such as depositing money, withdrawing funds, and checking their balance. The program is divided into several methods to keep the process organized and easy to manage. The main method, handle transaction client user, controls the flow of the program. It allows the user to perform up to 3 transactions in one session by showing available options and calling the corresponding method based on the user's choice. The deposit client user method handles the money deposits. It asks for a valid amount through get validation transaction amount and then adds the amount to the user's balance. It ends by showing a success message with the updated balance results. The withdrawal client user method manages withdrawals but includes important safety checks. It ensures that the amount entered is not greater than the balance and that it does not exceed the daily withdrawal limit. If the conditions are met, the amount is deducted and a success message is shown. The helper method, get valid transaction amount, string prompt, makes sure that the user enters a valid positive number. It keeps asking for input until the user provides a correct amount, preventing errors and invalid data. And lastly, the check balance client method simply displays the user's current balance and account tier. While the two validation methods, validation continues same account and validation to continue to another account, confirms whether the user wants to continue using the same account or switch to another one. So that'll be all. Thank you.
Now, good day everyone. Ngayon naman, explain namin yung flowchart namin. Siyempre, mag-i-start tayo sa start, sa oval. Then, meron tayo ditong process. Yung while loop. Meron tayo nilagay natin yung attempts equals sa 3. So, meron lang yung user na 3 attempts. So, next is mag-enter si user ng account number and yung PIN. If pumasok siya dito na nakilala siya ni system na user 1 account number and user 1 PIN yung in-enter niya, maglalagin siya ng successful year. Tapos, your account year plus user 1 year or yung basic account. If no naman, titignan niya, ito ba yon? Kung ito ba yung pangalawa. If user 2 account num and user 2 PIN. If yes, maglalagay siya ng successful. Plus your account tier plus yung user 2 at tier or yung premium na account. If no naman, check niya kung ito ba yon, kung ito bang user 3 account num and user 3 yung in-input. If yes, maglalagin siya ng successful. Your account tier plus user 3 that tier or yung VIP na meron tayo. If wala naman sa tatlo, magpiprint siya ng login failed. Attempts remaining plus yung attempts na meron si user. Dahil nga invalid, uulit na naman siya, pupunta siya dito sa process natin na while loop. So, magkakaroon dito ng update, mag-update to, yung attempts. Magde-decrement yung 3 na attempts natin, magiging 2 na lang. Pero what if umulit siya ng umulit dito at maging 0? 0 tong attempt, 0 na lang yung natira. E di, tatanungin, is 0 higher to 0? Diba? False yun. So, mag-print siya dito ng login process got locked. Too many failed login attempts. Tapos tatanungin kung gusto niyang mag-login again for account reset. If true, tatanungin, would you like to log in again? Tapos magta-type si user ng yes to continue or mag-no na siya to exit the program. If yes, syempre, gusto niya ulit mag-login, babalik na naman tayo dito. If no naman, kung ayaw niya na mag-login again, pag na siya, mag-i-stop na. Mag-i-stop na yung program. If wala naman, if hindi yes or no yung sinagot ni user, for example, sinagot niya 1, syempre, mag-print siya ng invalid input. Please enter yes or no only. Sabihin naman natin na tapos na lahat. I mean, na yung in-enter ni user ay akma dito, naging successful na yung pag-login niya. Syempre, pupunta na tayo dito sa another na process, yung transaction na ipapaliwanag ni Miss Bolaños.
So, para naman po sa for-in transaction count, so ang ini-indicate lang po nito is for every transaction, meron lang daw pong 3 times na pwedeng mag-access yung user. So, sa transaction count increment po, kapag po nagkaroon na siya ng transaction dito sa transaction options. Pero kapag naman po sa decrement, wala pa po siyang pinipiling sa transaction options. So, let's proceed po sa transaction options. So, meron po tayong tatlong choices dito, which is yung first yung deposit, withdraw, and check balance. So, meron po ditong pwedeng piliin si user between 1 to 3. So, dito po sa if is numeric input, ito po yung magre-read kung tama po ba yung in-enter ni user. Kasi kunyari po, ang na-enter niya is number 4. Wala naman po tayong 4 sa choices. So, bale, ang ipiprint po nun is invalid input, please enter a number between 1 to 3 only. So, kapag naman po nakapag-enter si user, kunwari, number 1. So, dito na po, babasahin po yun ng int choice is equals to integer, and then, pupunta po tayo dito sa switch case 1 kapag deposit po yung pinili ni user. So, dito po, i-ask po ng program to enter amount to deposit, kung magkano po yung amount na ide-deposit ni user. So, dun po sa may double, dito po sa may double amount, ang meaning po nito, kapag po 0 yung dineposit ni user, meaning po, not valid po yun, false po yun, kasi po, wala po siyang ide-deposit eh. So, ang mangyayari, try amount, double dot parse double. So, dito po, parang i-convert po yung string into double. So, after po nun, dito naman po sa if amount is greater than 0. So, kapag dito sinasabi na yung amount daw is greater than 0, which ang meaning po nun is valid, which is true. So, parang mapupunta po siya dito sa may user balance. So, di ba, kunwari, ang dineposit niya is 5K. So, dadagdag yon sa user balance. So, ayun po, mapiprint po yung successfully deposited, tas yung amount po ng in-enter ni user, tapos yung mapiprint din po yung new balance, tas yung, kunwari po, 5K. So, kapag naman po yung no yung case natin is mapupunta po siya doon sa may if amount is greater than sa user balance, which is ma-explain naman po mamaya ni Miss Panganiban. Pero kapag meron rin po tayong other case, which is yung else print, please enter a positive amount. Kapag naman po, yung in-enter ni user is negative amount. So parang ang mangyayari po, ika-catch niya po, iba-block po kasi po ang dito po sa catch number format exception iba-block niya po yung string na hindi po ma-convert sa double. So ang mangyayari, print invalid input, please enter a positive numeric value. So para naman po sa case 2, i-explain po siya ni Miss Panganiban.
Then, sa case 2 naman po, pag case 2 po yung pinili ni user, which is yung withdraw, magpiprint po sa baba is enter amount to withdraw. Then, i-check po dito sa decision kung if amount is greater than user balance. Then, pag nag-yes siya, ang lilitaw is insufficient balance for this withdrawal and uulit siya sa simula ng transaction. Then, pipili ulit siya ng choices dun sa taas. Then, yung susunod is i-check kung yung daily withdrawal ba is mas mataas. Mataas ba? If mas mataas sa withdrawal limit, then magpiprint siya sa withdrawal exceed daily limit, please return again. Then, uulit-ulit yung transaction sa umpisa. Then, sa baba naman is, pag tama na yung in-input ni user, merong formula na mag-check dito. And, ang ipiprint niya sa baba is yung successful withdrawal ng user. Sa case 3 naman, pag check balance yung pinili ng user, ang mangyayari is, ipiprint niya yung balance and yung current tier ng user. Then, magpiprint din yung you have completed 3 transactions. Then, magpo-proceed na siya sa pagtatanong if gusto pa bang i-continue nung user yung transaction on this account. Tapos, i-check din dito, kapag nag-yes siya, uulit-ulit yung transaction. Then, kapag naman nag-no siya, ang mangyayari is magpo-proceed siya dun sa type yes to continue and no to exit. Then dito sa baba, kapag ang in-input ng user is hindi yes or no, ang mangyayari is uulit-ulit yung tanong sa taas Ayan, dito sa do you want to continue this transaction on this account? Then, sa next, pag naman okay na and tama yung na-input ni user, ang susunod na mangyayari is ayan, dito. Ayan, type yes to continue or no to exit the program. Kapag naman nag-yes siya, ang mangyayari is uulit sa umpisa yung program. Mag-a-ask ulit yung program ng panibagong account number and PIN. Then kapag naman nag-no na siya, ang mangyayari is mag-e-end na or mag-i-stop na yung program. Then ayun din, kagaya nung sa kanina, pag bukod sa yes or no, kapag hindi yes and no yung sinagot ng is uulit yung process sa pagtatanong kung gusto pa ba niyang i-continue yung taas Yan. Taas pa. Ayan. Yan. Uulit-ulit siya. Magtatanong ulit siya kung gusto niya pa bang i-continue or mag-exit na yung program. And then, doon na po natatapos yung program namin.